Have you ever wondered how to manage your anger effectively? In our lives, anger is an inevitable emotion that we all experience, and managing it well is an essential skill for maintaining inner peace and healthy relationships. Today, we begin a journey to understand this powerful emotion better and learn how to navigate it effectively. We'll explore the wisdom of ancient Buddhist teachings and the insights from modern scientific research. Buddhist philosophy offers us ways to acknowledge our anger without judgment and to cultivate compassion and loving kindness. On the flip side, science helps us understand the physiological processes behind anger and introduces us to techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy and mindfulness-based interventions. Together, these perspectives provide a comprehensive framework for managing anger. So, whether you're seeking to deepen your understanding of your emotions or looking for practical strategies to manage anger, this exploration promises to offer valuable insights. Let's dive right in, shall we? Buddhism has a unique perspective on anger. Anger, a potent emotion, is viewed in Buddhism as a destructive force, capable of inflicting harm not just on others but also on oneself. This philosophy urges us to confront anger head-on, to recognize it without passing judgment. It's about becoming aware of this emotion, observing its presence, and understanding its roots. This mindful observation prevents us from lashing out impulsively, allowing us to choose a more skillful response. Central to this approach is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a state of active, open attention to the present. When we are mindful, we observe our thoughts and feelings from a distance, without judging them as good or bad. Instead of letting life pass us by, mindfulness means living in the moment and awakening to our current experiences. It's a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. Compassion and loving kindness are also integral to managing anger in Buddhism. When anger flares, Buddhists put into practice a specific type of meditation known as loving kindness meditation. This practice redirects negative emotions towards empathetic thoughts, fostering a sense of understanding and love. The intent is not just to benefit those who might be the focus of our anger, but also to alleviate the intensity of our own anger, leading us towards a more peaceful state of mind. Buddhism teaches us not to suppress or ignore our anger, but rather to transform it into something more positive, into understanding and compassion. It encourages us to look deeply into our anger, to see the causes and conditions that brought it about. This practice helps us to uproot anger at its source, preventing it from arising in the future. So, that's the Buddhist approach to anger. But what does science have to say? In the next scene, we'll delve into the scientific perspective on anger, exploring how modern techniques and research align with and support these Buddhist teachings. Stay tuned as we continue to explore this fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. From a scientific standpoint, anger is a natural response to threats or frustrations. It's a primal emotion, hardwired into our brains for survival. When we perceive a threat, our brain's amygdala springs into action, sounding the alarm and triggering the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare our bodies for fight or flight, a rapid response to danger. This reaction can be beneficial in certain situations, but when it's activated frequently due to anger, it can have negative impacts on our physical and mental health. Elevated levels of stress hormones over time can contribute to a range of health problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, and even anxiety and depression. But here's the good news. Science also offers us strategies to manage this powerful emotion. One such strategy is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This psychological approach helps us to identify and challenge the irrational thoughts and beliefs that often fuel our anger. It encourages us to question our thought patterns, asking ourselves if our reactions are proportionate to the situation at hand. By shifting our perspective and challenging our beliefs, we can change our emotional responses and manage our anger more effectively. Another scientifically backed approach to managing anger is mindfulness-based interventions. These techniques borrow heavily from Buddhist practices, emphasizing the importance of present moment awareness. Just as Buddhism teaches us to observe our anger without judgment, mindfulness techniques encourage us to do the same. By paying close attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can recognize the early signs of anger and choose to respond in a more thoughtful and controlled manner. This kind of self-awareness can be incredibly powerful in diffusing anger before it escalates. So we see that both Buddhism and science have valuable insights on managing anger. They both emphasize the importance of understanding our emotions, observing them without judgment, and responding to them in a thoughtful and controlled manner. By integrating these approaches into our daily lives, we can navigate our emotional landscapes with greater ease and promote healthier relationships with ourselves and others. So what can we take away from all this? Firstly, it's critical to acknowledge anger without judgment. Recognizing the presence of this powerful emotion is the first step towards managing it effectively. Secondly, the practice of compassion, as taught in Buddhist philosophy, can redirect our negative emotions towards empathetic thoughts, softening the intensity of our anger. And thirdly, the use of mindfulness techniques can help us observe anger without being consumed by it, enhancing our self-awareness and ability to respond thoughtfully to emotional triggers. The harmony between Buddhist teachings and modern scientific approaches provides a comprehensive framework for managing anger. By combining these insights, we can understand the root causes of our anger, address them skillfully, and foster healthier emotional reactions, promoting overall emotional well-being and healthier relationships. Remember, it's all about navigating your emotions skillfully. Until next time, stay mindful and stay peaceful.